In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on September 10, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Central Arkansas versus Ole Miss. The Central Arkansas Bears and the Ole Miss Rebels meet in Week 2 college football action from Vaught-Hemingway Stadium on Saturday night. The Ole Miss Rebels will look to build on their 28-10 win over Troy from their last matchup. Jackson Dart has thrown for 154 yards, a touchdown and an interception on 66.7% passing, while Zach Evans has rushed for a team-high 130 yards, while Quinshon Judkins has 87 rushing yards as well this season. Michael Trigg also has a team-high 4 receptions for 33 yards this season. On defense, Tasheen Johnson has a team-high 12 total tackles, while Troy Brown is right behind with 11 total tackles, and Kari Coleman has a pair of sacks. Miles Battle has an interception for the Rebels as well this season. The Central Arkansas Bears will look to rebound from a 27-14 loss to Missouri State to start the year. Will McElvain threw for 173 yards, a touchdown, and a pair of interceptions on 18 of 31 passing, while Darius Hale had 99 rushing yards and Jylan James had 84 rushing yards. Miles Butler had a team-high 6 receptions for 72 yards and a touchdown, while Jared Barnes added 4 receptions for 48 yards as well in the loss. So the Central Arkansas Bears to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Syracuse versus Connecticut. The Syracuse Orange pay a visit to Pratt and Whitney Stadium in East Hartford, Connecticut on Saturday to face the UConn Huskies. Syracuse opened its regular season with an impressive 31-7 victory over the Louisville Cardinal, while UConn was defeated by Utah State 31-20 in its season opener, but bounced back with a 28-3 win over Central Connecticut. The Syracuse defense dominated in its season opener, while Connecticut has relied on its running game through its first 2 games. The Connecticut Huskies are 1-1 after the first 2 games of the regular season, but the only victory came against FCS opponent Central Connecticut. The Connecticut defense is giving up 392 yards per game and will face a Syracuse offense that scored 31 points in its opening game victory and gained 449 yards of total offense. Quarterback Garrett Schrader and his skill position players will be too much for the Huskies' defense to contain, while at the same time Connecticut will have a hard time against a tough Syracuse defense that gave up just 7 points in its opening game victory over Louisville while forcing 3 Cardinals turnovers. The Orange had a nice effort versus Louisville in their opener with 449 total yards, 23 first downs, and 6.8 yards per play. Syracuse took care of the ball with 0 turnovers, but they also committed a whopping 18 penalties for 107 yards. As for UConn, they didn't have too much trouble versus Central CT State. The Huskies had 446 total yards, 27 first downs, and a nice 1-4 of 1-9 on third down tries. UConn coughed up 3 turnovers and 8 penalties, however, so it was far from perfect. So the Syracuse Orange to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Huskies' passing game so far has not been very impressive, so the key for UConn keeping this game close is going to be establishing their running game and slowing the game down. Syracuse only ranked 98th in the nation, averaging 67.5 plays per game in 2021, and last week they ran 68 plays against Louisville. The Syracuse defense will be too much for Connecticut's offense to move the ball on a regular basis and have sustained drives. Therefore, Connecticut will make more field goal attempts than reach the end zone. The total has finished under in 7 of the last 10 games Connecticut has played during September and in 9 of the last 12 games that Connecticut has played at home against a team that has a winning record. Syracuse held Louisville to 7 points and the total has finished under in 4 of the Orange's last 5 overall. I expect a low-scoring game, with most of the aerial damage only coming from the Cuse. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Kent State versus Oklahoma. Kent State travels to Norman to face Oklahoma in a non-conference matchup on Saturday night from Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. The Golden Flashes just lost to another Power 5 squad as they fell at Washington 45-20 last Saturday as a 23.5 points dog. The Sooners crushed UTEP 45-13 at home as a 31-point favorite in Brent Venables' debut as head coach. The Brent Venables era in Oklahoma started on a high note with a season-opening 45-13 win over UTEP last week. The offense, led by UCF transfer Dylan Gabriel at QB, was balanced and executed enough to secure the comfortable victory. While those 45 points and a 32-point win are nice, the margin of victory probably should have been larger. UTEP lost its Week 0 matchup to North Texas by 18 and scored the same amount of points as it did against Oklahoma. Though the Sooners' defense should be much better under Venables, it may take a couple weeks to fully see that come to fruition. As for Kent State, it has an offense that could exploit some things that UTEP failed to completely do last week. The Golden Flashes boast an up-tempo attack with a few key offensive playmakers in running back Marcus Cooper and wide receiver Dante Cephas. They scored 20 points in the opener against Washington, but that total could have easily been bigger as the Flashes settled for 2 field goals and had to overcome 3 interceptions. Kent State's fast-paced offense can put together multiple scoring drives against a largely unproven Oklahoma defense that may be caught off guard at times. Meanwhile, Oklahoma's offense may need to put up 50-plus points to cover this large spread. Though the Sooners are certainly capable, coming away with any type of victory may be satisfactory with a matchup against Nebraska looming next week. The U offense in Week 1 seemed a bit conservative and run-focused more often than not, and that may be the case again this week. This spread is just a bit too large when the underdog features an up-tempo offense like Kent State's. Then you factor in the potential look-ahead aspect for Oklahoma. The Golden Flashes have some talented weapons led by Cooper, and Schlee should be much better after shaking off the cobwebs in Game 1. So Kent State to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Last season, Oklahoma put up 40 points against Tulane. Kent State allowed 41 points at Texas Aggies and 30 against a very vanilla Iowa offense. Kent State couldn't stop the pass last season as they ranked 124th in the nation in that category. Even if they improved their pass defense, Gabriel is going to do his thing at home with all the speed at wide receiver. Kent State can score as well because the Sooners' defense has its own issues. Kent State gave up 45 points last week and allowed Huskies quarterback Michael Penix Jr. to light them up for 345 yards and 4 touchdowns. They did at least limit Washington to 3.7 yards per carry on the ground. On Saturday, Oklahoma will unleash a passing attack that will be just as efficient alongside a running game that picked up 6.8 yards per rush against UTEP. I see the Sooners scoring at will until they call off the Dogs. On the other side, Kent State's offense needs to get going, and they do have some explosive players. I believe the Golden Flashes will work on some things in the final 20 minutes of this game to add some meaningless points and help push this game past the total. All in all, there will be a lot of points scored in this one. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.